Today is Monday, January 22nd, 2024, a very momentous day for history and civilization. To talk about it, we need to go to India and the holy city of Ayodhya as the temple to Lord Ram has been rebuilt. Now, a lot of the worst people in the world are very mad today. We have Islamists, communists, and the mainstream media, and shocking, the third one is lying to you about what's going on. Now, to understand what's happening, we need to go over the entire history. We'll start today. There is the reconstruction of the temple to Lord Ram. Now, who's Lord Ram? He is a Hindu god and believed to be one of the reincarnations of Vishnu. He plays a central role in one of the great epics of Hindu civilization and religious theology, and as such, a very important figure to the people of India and Hindus worldwide. In fact, all Dharmic peoples, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists. So, the temple to Lord Ram in the holy city of Ayodhya is built on what is believed to be his birthplace. Now, 500 years ago, when the Mughal Empire invaded India, and they were Islamist fascists, they decided to destroy the temple and build a mosque on top of it. It's very important. Now, why? Was this the only mosque that could be built? No. They were Islamo-fascists. And the reason why they destroy previous religious buildings and build mosques on top of them, in their own words, is to humiliate these people. The humiliation of polytheists is an Islamist doctrine. And by tearing down the temple and putting a mosque on it, was a big symbol to Islamists, and they enjoyed it. And this precipitated one of the greatest genocides in human history. People have quoted over 100 million Hindus killed here. People say it's tens of millions. So let's be conservative on our estimate and say tens of millions of people were slaughtered under the Mughal Empire. And to add context, this is not an industrialized, they didn't have guns. This is a by hand genocide. This is swords, grabbing people, just chopping their heads off, burning them alive, piling bodies, stacks and stacks of bodies, real horrors that were committed against the Hindu people under the Mughal Empire. So this is a great act of decolonization, yet all the people who teach about decolonization are very, very upset, showing that radical leftists don't actually believe what they claim to believe. If they did, they would be very happy today. Instead, they are quite upset. Now, the Babri Masjid, which was built on top of this, was destroyed in 1992 in riots. And this is, the great sin of India and Narendra Modi, according to the mainstream media and the widespread left. Now, there were around 2,000 people that died in the riots surrounding this in 1992. Most of those people were Muslim, not all. And this is the genocide, again, less than 2,000 people, that, Modi and the BJP has been charged with by the left. What is always omitted from this particular portion of history is what precipitated this. This did not come out of nowhere, right? In January 1990, there was a Islamist massacre and genocide, another one, in Kashmir, where they were driven out. And Congress, which had been ruling India since its inception, decided to bend over backwards to appease the Islamists because they are under the philosophy, and they still are today, that by enabling terrorism and giving everything that the Islamists demand through blood to them will calm them down. It does not. It made them worse. So what precipitated these riots was there's about 54 Hindu pilgrims wanted to go to the site of this temple because, again, it is the birthplace of Lord Ram, who is a central figure in Hindu philosophy and theology. They were surrounded by Islamists, and they were all burned alive. 50 people, men, women, children, elderly, burned alive while people screamed Allahu Akbar, just like they did on October 7th. This is what precipitated this. And Modi's great sin, and what the media will tell you he's a genocidal lunatic, is Narendra Modi at the time did point out that the people screaming Allahu Akbar, burning 50 people alive, had something to do with Islam. He did not capitulate, he did not say this, because again, the general narrative among a lot of Islamists in India at the time was, yes, these people should be killed, because they're having the audacity to go and pay homage to Lord Ram on a place where, there was a mosque, and this enraged them. This subsequently enraged a lot of Hindus, and there was a violent clash. Okay? That's what happened. Now, after about 30 years in the Supreme Court of India, a secular court, through all the evidence presented of the temple that was there beforehand and what precipitated this, the court ruled that the reconstruction of the Ayodhya temple would be allowed. They also ruled that 5 acres of this land should be given to Muslims to build a mosque there. And by the way, this isn't the only mosque in Ayodhya. There's over 50 mosques in Ayodhya. So it's not like Muslims had no place to pray. That's not it. They did. They just wanted another mosque here, and they were given it. 40% of the individual of the donations to build this mosque were given by Hindus, Hindu civilians of India. 30% of it was Muslims. Now, there are more Hindus than Muslims in India, so you can scale that however you want. The point is, no one is destroying Islamic culture or any of that. Islam is being respected here. What this is a proud revival of Hindu civilization and an FU to radical Marxists, Islamists, and mainstream media, which wants to keep center-left parties in power to infinity. Right? So this is sort of the central promise of the BJP was to rebuild this temple. Promise made, promise delivered. Right? We live in a very weird society where politicians get more flack for doing what they say they're going to do than not doing what they say they're going to do. And of course, the Justin Trudeau of India, Rahul Gandhi, he's very mad. He doesn't like this. Congress, boycotting this because they are trying to appease the most radical people in Indian society to bring them under their banner, so they will vote for them because, what's life without the left making a Faustian bargain for power? So this is what is actually going on in India today. And I will say, as an outside observer, I have loved seeing this. Like, I actually am filled with joy to see this and pride. It does hit me. I am a fan of history and ancient cultures and ancient civilizations, and I do hate this narrative and this, masochistic worldview that we have in the West and in some other places where, our cultures are evil and bad and must be destroyed and blah, 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 blah. No, there is value to your culture. There's a value to your religion. There's a value to your civilization. And when people peacefully embrace this, I think it is good. So yes, there are currently Islamists in India throwing stones at Hindus, outrage, committing mass violence. Pakistan is very mad. However, Pakistan has been mad for ever. That's kind of their thing, and to Pakistan, I say I couldn't care less what you have to say. You have destroyed all your minority populations with absolute, horrific violence. So shut up. And the other thing is, this is a win for all Dharmic peoples. You're seeing, Sikhs, this narrative we want to push of the Sikhs and Hindus having tension. No, it's not real. It's just Khalistanis. It's an AstroTurf movement backed by Pakistan. Most Sikhs and Hindus are very happy today, add in Jains and Buddhists. This is a win for Dharmic civilization. It's a win for civilization at a wider thing. And it's a big, FU to Islamists, communists, and their supporters in the mainstream media. So you will see, despite the violence in the short term, and the media will play the narrative of, look, you're doing this to yourselves. The people throwing stones at you, it's your fault. This will pass. And in the long term, you will see more peace and coexistence between all peoples in India because of this move. It is important to retake your civilization. And again, the intention of the masjid was to dominate and humiliate Hindus. And that has been removed. That's good, because when there is a power rebalance set, you will see less violence in the long term. So, Jai Shri Ram, everyone. Thank you, India, for staying strong on this one. I support you on this one. A lot of, people of different faiths do support you. I see Muslim friends supporting this decision as well. All very good. Congratulations on this historic day. And it's important for people of the world to see what's going on here and apply these lessons going forward, that we cannot be bullied by radicals within our society who are backed by the establishment. And when the people actually get power and make decisions that benefit them and their civilization, you will get more prosperity. You will get more peace. So that's a lesson for today. Congratulations, everyone. Good day for civilization. See you tomorrow.